South Asia faces unprecedented shocks. Economic crisis in Sri Lanka, catastrophic floods in Pakistan, a global slowdown, and impacts of the war in Ukraine. Top of lingering scars of the COVID-19 pandemic. Growth is projected to average 5.8% this year. That's down 1 percentage point from forecasts made in June. Economic distress is weighing down on all countries, but some are coping better than others. In India, experts in the services sector have recovered more strongly than the world average. In Maldives and to a lesser extent in Nepal, the return of tourism is helping to drive growth. But Sri Lanka has plunged into its worst ever crisis. Its real GDP is expected to fall by 9.2% in 2022. Floods fueled by climate change submerged 1/3 of Pakistan this year, exacerbating its economic woes. Inflation caused by elevated global food and energy prices is expected to rise to 9.2%. The squeeze on real income is severe, especially for the poor, who spend a large share of income on food. Migrant workers, many of whom are employed in the informal sector, were disproportionately affected by COVID-19 lockdowns. However, the later phase of the pandemic has highlighted the crucial role migration can play in facilitating recovery. Migration enables economic development by allowing people to move to locations where they are more productive. It also helps them to adjust to shocks, such as COVID-19 and climate events. Policymakers can cut the high costs of migration. They can also de-risk it through flexible visa policies, mechanisms to support migrant workers during shocks, and social protection programs. Facilitating migration can help South Asia build resilience and cope better with future shocks.
Over the past 3 years, South Asia has been hit hard by extreme shocks, and recovery has not been easy. Now the region faces weakening growth due to multiple economic challenges and global uncertainty. Some positive developments, such as lower energy prices, a strong global recovery in services sectors like tourism and IT, and the reopening of China's economy, have helped recovery. But rising interest rates and uncertainty in financial markets are negatively impacting the region's economies. Growth is projected to average 5.6% this year, a downward revision from October 2022 forecast. Inflation is not declining as quickly as expected, and high food prices are contributing to greater food insecurity for South Asia's poor. To go from recovery to sustained and resilient growth, countries need to move away from ad hoc measures such as fuel subsidies and import restrictions. Instead, they should focus on broad reform programs that fully utilize the region's production potential and ensure economic development is inclusive. South Asia has among the world's highest inequality of opportunity and lowest intergenerational mobility. That means a person's access to education, jobs, earnings, and levels of consumption are determined by circumstances out of their control. These include place of birth, caste, ethnicity, and gender. Such socioeconomic divides are unfair and inefficient and constrain long-term economic growth. Countries can address these divides by improving access and quality of education, strengthening affirmative action policies, supporting small and medium enterprises, and reducing barriers to labor mobility. This is vital to ensuring the region can achieve its full potential.
Diverse culture and ancient history, is also unfortunately known for its poverty. The issue of poverty in India is a complex and multifaceted one, and its measurement has been a contentious topic for many years. Recently leaked data from a hushed-up 2017-2018 Consumer Expenditure Survey has shed new light on the issue, revealing a decline in rural consumption and a potential rise in national poverty rates. However, the government's response to this data has been controversial, raising questions about the accuracy and transparency of India's poverty measurements. India is a developing economy, and two critical yardsticks are used to measure its progress: the rate of economic growth and poverty reduction. However, poverty numbers are politically sensitive, and hence the Indian government has avoided discussing it since 2014. This has led to researchers relying on limited data and assumptions to draw inferences on poverty in India. India's official poverty lines are based on consumer expenditure surveys conducted by the National Sample Survey enumerators across the country. The last such survey in 2011-2012 showed a rapid decline in poverty. However, a 2017-2018 Consumer Expenditure Survey, which was leaked to the media, indicated a 1 percentage point rise in national poverty rates between 2011-2012 and 2017-2018. The Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation decided to discard the survey, citing divergence and other data sets such as the National Account Statistics and the findings of an expert panel. However, the expert panel in question did not recommend suppression of that survey on the grounds of such divergence. Moreover, scholars including Nobel-winning economist Angus Deaton have studied this issue in the past and agreed that the survey data cannot be considered flawed merely because it differs from national account estimates. Definitional issues and errors in both survey and national account estimates contribute to the divergence between survey estimates and national accounts. Furthermore, over the years, the NSS Consumer Expenditure Questionnaire have grown longer to reflect changing consumption patterns. However, queries on new items are placed at the end of the question set, leading to respondent fatigue and inadequate responses. This may partially explain the growing divergence between the data sets. The revamp of India's Consumer Expenditure Survey has caused controversy as the National Statistics Commission initially suggested retaining the old method for comparability, but later reversed its decision. Comparisons with past surveys may still be attempted, but many scholars, from P.C. Mahalanobis to Modi Mukherjee to Deaton, have emphasized the need for annual surveys to reduce the stakes and allow gradual experimentation. The statistical establishment is criticized for not conducting large-scale pilot surveys before finalizing the new design. In conclusion, reliable data on poverty reduction is essential for formulating policies that ensure that economic gains are being shared widely.
सरकार की 450 से ज्यादा योजनाओं का पैसा सीधा लाभार्थियों.
Poverty and inequality in South Asia. South Asia, a region teeming with vibrant cultures and ancient traditions, is also unfortunately home to stark reality, persistent poverty, and a widening gap in wealth distribution. While economic growth has brought progress, millions still struggle to meet basic needs. Tackling these complex issues requires a multi-pronged approach that empowers individuals, students, institutions, and fosters inclusive economic development. One of the root causes of poverty is limited access to quality education. Investing in education, particularly for girls, break the cycle of poverty by equipping individuals with the skills and knowledge needed to find decent job and improve their livelihoods. This includes early childhood education, programs that provide strong foundations for lifelong learning. Furthermore, promoting financial inclusion is a crucial microfinance initiatives that provide small loans and financial literacy training allow individuals, especially women, to start business and build assets. This fosters economic independence and empowers people to lift themselves out of poverty. Addressing our rural-urban disparities is also essential. Investment in rural infrastructure, such as irrigation system and roads, connect farmers to markets and facilities that movement of all goods. Additionally, promoting our agricultural diversification and climate-smart practices can increase rural incomes and improve food security. However, tackling inequalities required addressing structural barriers, discrimination based on caste, gender, and religion marginalize entire communities, limiting their access to education, healthcare, and economic opportunities. Governments must enact and enforce anti-discrimination law and employment affirmative action program to level the playing field. Combating corruption is critical to ensure resources reach those who need them most. Strengthening governance by promoting transparency and accountability in public institutions builds trust and ensures the poverty reduction program are effective and efficient. An active and engaged civil society also plays a vital role in holding governments accountable and advocating for the most marginalized. Finally, fostering inclusive economic growth that benefits all sections of society is paramount. It includes promoting labor markets reforms that ensures fair wages and safe working conditions, along with targeted investments in sectors that create employment opportunities for low-skilled workers. Additionally, supporting the growth of small and medium-sized enterprises can create a more diversified and inclusive economy. Combating poverty and inequality in South Asia is a long-term challenge. It requires a sustained commitment from all stakeholders, governments, international organizations, civil society, and the private sector. A collaborative approach that empowers individuals, strengthens institutions, and fosters equitable economic development is key to bridging the divide and creating a future where prosperity is shared by all.